The basal ganglia or basal nucleus. There are four components for the basal nucleus named caudate nucleus, lentiform nucleus, amygdala, and claustrum. The caudate nucleus and lentiform nucleus together is named as Co.striatum. The functional part of the basal nucleus is the Co.striatum. This is a model of internal capsule and the basal ganglia and thalamus, all incorporated to one model. This is anterior and posterior. This is the internal capsule. Lateral to the internal capsule is the lentiform nucleus. Medial to the internal capsule is caudate nucleus and the thalamus. Between the two thalamus, there is a space named as the third ventricle. This is a lateral view of the right corona radiata and the right lentiform nucleus. This is anterior and this is posterior. This structure is the corona radiata of the internal capsule, and this structure is the lentiform nucleus, which is located lateral to the internal capsule. The lentiform nucleus anteriorly is connected to the head of the caudate nucleus, and this part is named as the body of the caudate nucleus, which continues as the tail of the caudate nucleus. You can clearly see that the lentiform nucleus is lateral to the internal capsule and corona radiata. The caudate nucleus is medial to the corona radiata and the internal capsule. This structure here is the thalamus. The space between the two thalamus is the third ventricle. The thalamus is clearly located inside the concavity of the caudate nucleus. This is the lentiform nucleus. Here is head of caudate nucleus, body of caudate nucleus, tail of caudate nucleus, and this structure related to the tail of the caudate nucleus is named as amygdala. Even though amygdala is seen to be related to the end of the tail of caudate nucleus, functionally amygdala is not the part of the basal nucleus. Now we will take a horizontal section to see the components of these structures in detail. This is the transverse section of the left internal capsule. You can see the parts of the internal capsule: the anterior limb, genu, posterior limb, and retrolentiform part. There is the head of the caudate nucleus, and this is the thalamus. You can see the two components of the lentiform nucleus. The lateral part of the lentiform nucleus is named as the putamen, and the medial part of the lentiform nucleus is named as the Globus pallidus. There is a very thin lamina of grey matter lateral to the lentiform nucleus, separated by a thin lamina of external capsule. This is the external capsule. This thin lamina of grey matter is named as the claustrum. The function of the claustrum is not clearly understood. Again, lateral to the claustrum, there is the insular cortex. So this is the insula. The orientation: the anterior, posterior, medial, and lateral. After taking a horizontal section, we are looking at this diagram from above. This is anterior, posterior, medial, and lateral of the left internal capsule and the structures forming the basal ganglia. Thank you.